Good morning, guys. All of you, good morning. Yeah, good morning, guys. Is there any new person? So, in the last session before the Sunday, we discussed the demos related, guys. Okay, basic thing only. So, today onwards, actual installation, all the things you are going to get. So, what is Django framework? What is the history of Django framework? And what are the features about the Django framework? Only these things are completing, and no problem. These all things are theoretical points only. Programmatically, we did not started still. Now getting wise, guys. Yeah, sound fully there. Okay, now no problem, Sajid. Here only history about the Django and features about the Django, the theoretical points only told. So installation today onwards only we are going to discuss. So those history, who developed, when developed, why developed, like normal points only, theoretical points. I'll take your mail and I'll share the documentation. Then when you are reading, 10 to 20 minutes, you will understanding all those points. Okay, na? So overview I'll give you. So first of all, Django framework is required for to developing the web applications. So if you want to developing as all people, any people, okay, if you want to developing any application, three layers required. One is the front end layer, another one is the back end layer, another one is the database layer. Okay, so this is a presentation code purpose, guys. Presentation code. So presentation code, if you want to developing, at least you need to learn the UI technologies like HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, like these things, guys. Okay, so UI courses, HTML, CSS, like so many things. Okay, and next business code, guys. Business code we need to develop in. Business code means backend related logics we need to develop. So for example, in our mobile nowadays, all people are using the smart mobiles. In mobile, hundreds of applications we are using. Whenever we are doing something, guys, whenever we are doing something, backend some action is happening, action is executing. That is the business code only. So we are going to write these all things in our Django, majorly using our Django framework. This business logics only we are writing. Okay. So if you want to write the business logics, at least we need to learn any one programming language like Python, Java, .NET, whatever you want. At least one language and language related framework. So Python already you know. That's why Python related framework, Django you need to learn to develop in the business code. And next database logics, guys. Next database code. So we need to store some data into database for future purpose. For example, registration data, feedback data, contact data, like these all things we need to store in the database. Okay, so database knowledge is also is required. At least one language, one database knowledge is required. So MySQL, MongoDB, Oracle, SQL Server, PostgreSQL, like so many are there. So many are there. So we are going to learn at least one database. Okay. So by combination of these three things only, major application is going to be completed, guys. So out of these three things, anyone missing means that is not full application. So the people who are working in this area, we are calling a front-end developer. We are calling what? So front-end developer, guys. Front-end developer, front-end developer. And the people who are working on here, then we are calling the back-end developer. The people who are working here, DB developer, we are calling DB developer. Okay, so the people who knows both this front end, back end, and database knowledge, then we are calling the person is a full stack developer. What we are calling? Full stack developer. Okay, so nowadays Full stack developers are getting the more interview calls, guys. More demanding is there in the organization. So slowly you need to becoming like a full stack developer. You need to becoming like a full stack developer, guys. Okay, na? So here we are learning Django framework right now. Already you know Python language. So using our Python and Django, majorly purely we are going to developing the business code. Business code, how we are writing the logics. Slowly we will learn, no problem. So while working with the business code, when you are interacting, when you are developing the business code, always we need to interact with the database to store our business code related information into the database, like all things. Okay, so registration data, feedback data, product information, students information, employees information, like these all things. If you want to store in the database for permanent manner, then DB knowledge is required. So while learning this business code, so along with Django, we are regularly interacted with database also, guys. Okay, so Django with database is important. We are going to learn these all things coming session. And some people are learning only UI related, so separately they are learning, no problem. And here UI with business code. So our HTML CSS with Django code also we are going to developing. We are going to developing this one. Okay. So finally, all together going to be communicated, guys. So using the front end, users are going to give some data. That data in the back end, we are going to access in the business code. We are going to access, and that is we are sending to the database, and database giving confirmation back to the Django. Django giving confirmation back to the presentation. Okay, then users can understanding. So is operation successfully done or not? Okay, na? So this is totally in our course we are going to do it. So many applications we are going to do it slowly. Remember that point. And here Django is developed by whom, guys? Django was developed by Adrian and Simon Wilson. These two are authors. Okay. So when they started this Django means in 2003 they started as an internal project in so-and-so company, Lawrence Journal newspaper world organization. In that company they developed. Okay. So in 2005 they released to public. Okay. So they released to public as an open source and free, means no need to pay any amount, freely anybody can download and they may develop the logics. Guys. Okay, na? So what you I'm giving, guys, these all things clearly we discussed in the previous session. Okay, next in 2008 they resigned. Adrian and Simon Wilson are working in this company. So for this company purpose, they developed Django framework, guys. In 2005, after developing Django, using this Django, they developed some new applications. So those all applications are getting the lot of benefits. Two demonstrations completed, guys. Only this history related only. Installations today only we are going to get. Yeah. Now in 2008 they released. In 2005 they released to public. In 2008 they started their own organization, which name is the DSF, means Django Software Foundation. Django Software Foundation. No problem, guys. Programmatically we did not started all things just for knowledge purpose. This is your first class or previous class, that is not a matter. Okay, so from today onwards what we are discussing installation, that is important knowledge. This is all for just theoretical knowledge only. Yeah. So in 2008 they started their own organization, Django Software Foundation, to maintain the Django framework and to developing the more and more features into the Django framework. Okay, so initially they released 1.0 version, later 2x versions also there, now 3x also versions there, guys. 3x version, 3.1 something is there. Okay, so whatever the versions we want, we can install that one and we can use. Same like Python 2.7 is there, Python 3.7, 3.8, 3.9, like that. Different versions depending on our requirement. We can use the version particular. Okay, so these all things. This is about the history, guys. Majorly, Django framework is designed for reusing the code, reducing the duplicate code, and saving the time, within the less time with less cost. I need to develop the best product, that is by using the Django is possible. Okay, na? So simple one word example only I told previously. So if I want to print hello message using the Python, hello you are going to write here, hello you are writing, just enough. If you know about what is the use of print method, then you are able to print the hello. But in Java, lot of statements you are going to write, guys. Class, for example, sample is a class name, curly brace structure they are using, and then here different predefined keywords there, public, static, void, main. So this is a method. In this method, string and list of args you're going to write. So again curly brace. Now here one predefined class system which contains out object, println of. Now here you are going to make it hello message. Okay, yes. So now these all things belongs to the Django, and this is belongs to the Python. So if you want to print a hello message using Python, single line you are writing and you are learning about the print method enough. But if you want to print a hello message in Java, then first of all you need to learn what is class, what is sample, what is the public, okay, what is static, void, main. Here each one having a meaning, guys. Each one having meaning. First of all we need to learn about these all meanings, then we are able to print this hello message. It means as a developer we need to put more attention, okay na? So this is only single message. If you are going to developing the real-time application, means hundreds of lines, thousands of lines code we are writing. Then using the Java, more lines are required. For example, using the Java 1000 lines code you are writing to developing one project. But same project using the Python, so less than 500 lines code we can develop. Less than 500 lines code we can develop. So that is best advantage of Python related language, Python language and Python related frameworks. So our Django framework is purely developed by using the Python language only, purely developed using the Python only. That's why all Python data types, Python keywords, Python syntaxes, these things only we are going to use in our Django framework. So using the Django framework, when you are developing the application, then major points, guys, we are saving the time, we are saving the cost, of the project, and we are developing the best performance of application, best performance of applications, best performance we are going to give. Okay, and memory we are saving, less lines we are writing, guys. Less lines we are writing coding, less lines code we are writing. Memory saving. Okay, memory saving means obviously cost saving again, and readability increasing, complexity is decreasing. Understand, Swan? So majorly reducing the lot of burden on developers, if you are using the Django framework while developing your application. Okay, so that is the Django framework related history related points, guys. Okay, so Django, whenever we are installing the Django framework, along with the Django framework, a lot of predefined modules coming, guys. These all predefined modules related code, almost 70% code is there, 70 to 80% code is there. So we are going to use that predefined 70% code, and the remaining 30% code we are going to write in our development. Okay, so that is one point. And whenever we are going to creating the Django project, so first of all, whenever you are installing the Django, along with the Django, some default applications installed, some ready-made applications installed. So one of the best application is admin application. So every application you can take, guys. Every application you can take it here. So admin application is required. For example, I'm going to take here Amazon application. I'm going to take here one Amazon application, guys. So here Amazon is there. Here Amazon app is there. Amazon app. So in this Amazon app, all item 1, item 2, item 3, all information storing, guys. All the information storing, products information. For example, mobile brands, different mobile brands displaying here. Okay, na? So whatever the presentation we are developing, that is all displaying here. So here one database is there. One database is there. First of all, these all items information. These all items information is storing inside the database. These all item information storing in the database. So from database, all information getting back and displaying here. Getting back and displaying here. Okay, na? So getting back and displaying here, guys. Now users, normal users, they are going to send the request. Normal users, they are sending the request to this Zomato, sorry, Amazon. So the person can see all the items information. So how this all information here storing means, first of all, one admin user is there. One admin users there, guys. Admin users there. Admin users. Admin users via the admin application for this Amazon, one admin application is there. Okay, one admin application is there. Via the admin application, they are going to be communicated with the database directly. Database directly. They don't know, admin people don't know about the database logic, sir. But they have ready-made application, admin application. Via the admin, they will interact with the database. Here storing all the items information. Now these all item information is coming into the Amazon application home page. Okay, so these informations are seen by normal users, customers who wants to buy items. Then those people get the confirmation orders, all the things. Okay, so to maintaining these all data, admin application is required for every application. If you are taking Amazon, BookMyShow, Flipkart, Zomato, Swiggy, like anything. So using the Django framework, you are going to developing your Amazon application means. So admin people's interacting purpose, one admin application readily is coming, guys. We are not developing. If you are a Java developer, .NET developer, we need to write this admin application separately. But in the Django, no need to write. This is one of the benefit. Okay, and whenever we are doing something, guys, whenever we are doing something here, if any errors going, then user friendly messages we need to display. User friendly messages. Then one more application which is providing, which name is messages application, by default application. Using this application, we are going to display the user friendly messages. User friendly messages. For example, in your account, 1000 rupees is there. You are going to buy 2000 rupees. So whenever you are going to pay the money, so insufficient amounts in your account, like that messages we are displaying, user friendly messages. So these all things are using the messages module we can write. Next, every application you can take, guys. Amazon or Flipkart, Swiggy. Guys, please mute your speakers. Guys, all people mute your speakers. So every application is required user authentications. User authentications like username, sorry, registrations, logins, profiles, logouts related, and forgot passwords related. These all things, every application is required. So instead of developing manually, so if you are a Django developer means, in this Django, ready-madely we are going to get one application which name is the auth application, authentication related application. Using this application, you are going to get a lot of predefined coding, guys, for all user authentication related, registrations related, logout related, profiles related, all the things. Okay, so like a lot of benefits are there as a Django developer. As a Django developer. Ramakrishna, please mute, sir, your speaker. When you have doubts, you can ask. Later, I will interact with you all guys. So right now, please
Yes, sir.
mute your speaker. No offline batches, guys. Only online batches. Okay, now guys. Yeah, like using the Django framework, a lot of benefits are there. So that's why the Django framework is getting more demanding nowadays. And also, so many companies, guys, industries, so looking for Django developers. I mean, they're all new projects. They are interested to start development using the Django framework only. I means using the Django if they are developing. So major factors, all organization people are focusing on three factors. One is saving money, saving cost, and giving best performance. Okay, within the less time with less cost, they need to give best performance of application. These things are achieving by using the Django framework. That's why this Django is getting more demanding. Okay, na? So remember that point. And these all things last session completed, guys. History related, futures related. So more clearly you are going to get whenever I'm sharing the documentation. So next, installation of Django, guys. Installation of Django. From here onwards, important for you knowledge to work with Django framework. Okay. So whenever you are installing the Python software, how you are installing, guys? Separately, Python software you are downloading. Python software you are downloading from the www.python.org official sites there. Python.org. Okay, /downloads. From here you are downloading whatever the version you want and you are installing. After downloading, one exe file is coming, then by clicking next something, you are installing it. But Django is not like that. Django is not like that. Django is a module. Django is a module. So we are going to install the module. We are going to install the module. Modules, how we are installing in Python? Modules. In Python, how we are installing the modules? So in Python, every .py file we are calling the module. In Python, every .py file we are calling the module only. Okay. So every .py file in Python we are calling module. Different types of modules there, guys. So to install Django framework in your system, first of all, Python software is must be required. Why Python software is required means whenever we are installing Python, guys, pip command is also is command. Pip command is also installed. It is also installed. Yes, I'm telling keep your speaker. I'm putting mute, guys. Yeah. So Django is a here. Yes. I done, guys. So pip command after installing the Django framework. Okay. We are going to create the project. All things. First of all, if you want to install the Django framework, we need to install the Python software in our system. Whenever we are installing the Python software, okay. So pip command is also installed. Pip command is also installed along with Python software, guys. Along with the Python software, pip is also coming. Pip is also coming. Okay. So whenever we are installing the Python software, lot of predefined functions, predefined modules, predefined commands, all are coming, guys. So pip is also one command which is along with the Python software is coming inside Python software. Inside Python software, wherever you are installing. So inside your Python software, there is a script. One folder is there, guys. A script folder is there. Inside this script folder, this pip command is available. This pip command is available. Okay. So this pip is responsible to installing our Django. That's why Python software is required. I'm telling. Clear, guys? So using the pip command, we are going to install in the Django. We are not downloading like a Python. Pip is separate module. Modules how we are installing means using the pip command. Using the pip command. Remember that one. In Python only you are getting guys. Okay. So can see one point. In Python, every .py file we are calling module guys. So modules are dividing like three types. Python modules are dividing like three types. What are those types guys? So three types of modules there. Three types modules there guys. Simply three types of modules. First one is predefined modules. Predefined modules means the modules which are coming along with Python software. Whenever you are installing Python, along with the Python software, some modules are coming and installing. Okay, storing in your Python software location, guys. Then those modules we are calling a predefined modules. Those modules we are calling predefined modules. Along with Python software, along with the Python software, some modules are coming, okay, along with software some modules are coming, then those modules we are calling predefined modules. Simply one word answer I'm giving guys. In documentation you are going to get more clearly. Okay, so for examples of predefined modules, examples what are available. So OS module is there, path module is there, JSON module is there, math module is there, date time module is there, guys. Python RE regular expression module is there. Like n number of modules there. These all are coming along with the software only. Whenever we required, we can use particular modules. Okay. Next, second one is user-defined modules, guys. User-defined modules. Okay, na? So user-defined modules means, so as a developer, you are the developer. As a developer, we are going to write some modules according to our requirement. So I have one requirement. For that requirement, I need to develop one module, that is user-defined module we are calling. For example, so I want to find addition of two numbers. For that, I want to write one program, guys. Then that is I'm storing like a add.py, nothing but addition data. Okay, so in this I'm going to take two numbers values, guys. Two numbers values I'm taking from the user. From the user means using input method you are going to take just static data I'm taking, no problem. So next result c equal to a plus b you're writing, and then you are going to be print. You are going to be print. So this is a normal logic, guys. So in Python we have functions. In Python we have functions. So using the function def add function, like you can write, you can accept two inputs a and b, and you can do it logics. Okay, na? So this is we are calling a user defined module. This add.py we are calling user defined module. Same like when you are learning Python, guys, so many files you are saving, like a sample.py, example.py, example.py, demo.py, like these all things we are doing practice, like okay, depending on our requirement. So these all things you are calling the user defined modules. So as a developer you are writing for your requirement purpose. Okay, na? Now third party modules, which is important, guys. This is important. third third party module. So third party module means these modules are third party modules not coming along with Python software, guys. Along with the Python software not coming, and as a developer you are not creating. As a developer you are not creating for your own requirement purpose. Your requirement purpose you are not creating by yourself. Okay, so some third party people, guys, some third party means some other developers, some third party people some third party people are developing these modules, guys. Some third party people are developing some modules, and they are maintaining, and they are maintains okay, and they are maintaining, guys. They are maintained in the web location, nothing but in the internet location. Okay, some third party people are developing some modules and they are maintaining in the web location. So whenever we require, guys, whenever we require, we can download these third party modules and we can use these third party modules in our user defined module while developing our requirement related code. Okay, so for my project related, I'm developing this code. Here, if I want any particular module, then I can import predefined modules or I can download the third party modules. I can use all modules inside my user defined code. That is the third party module behavior, guys. Okay, so many, guys, thousands of third party modules are there. Thousands of third party modules are there. Depending on our requirement, we are going to use the third party module. So one diagram I will explaining. So can see here. Here my Python software is there, guys. Python software is there. So in the Python software, all predefined modules there. All right, predefined modules there. So here okay, we can consider like this is a predefined module. Predefined modules available here. So for example, OS module, RE module, math module, okay? So date time module, calendar module, like a number of modules there, guys. Okay, next. So here I have my user defined module. My user defined modules. I'm going to create a user defined module. User defined module like add.py, whatever you want, guys. Okay. So here some logics you are going to write. So whatever you want, you are going to write this some logic in this place, guys. Okay, na? Now while developing my code, guys, if I want any predefined module, then we can import these modules into our user defined code, guys. How we are going to importing? By using the import keyword. In Python we have modules concept, there import keyword, from keyword, these all things you are learning, guys. So import math, like this you are importing. Later this module you are going to use, guys. For example, math dot power function is there, then 2 comma 3 means to the power of 3 value you are going to get directly. Got it? So using these predefined modules, I can develop in my user defined module more easily to calculating something or performing something. Got it, guys? So using the import keyword, this point remember, using import or from keyword, we are going to import predefined modules. The modules which are available in this Python software location, these all modules we can use while developing our user defined code, guys. Using the import keyword, get it. Okay, no problem. Now here another one is third party modules. Another one is third party modules. So here I'm going to take it third party module. Third party modules. So many third party modules there, guys. Module 1, module 2, module 3, n number of modules are there. Okay. So for example, here Django is also a one third party module. Django is also a one third party module, and PyMySQL is one third party module. PyMongo is one third party module. So next, Pillow is one third party module. Pillow is one third party module. Like this, n number of third party modules are there, guys. N number of modules are there. Okay, na? Yeah. So while developing my user defined code, I required this Django module. I required this PyMySQL. I required this Pillow module. Okay, so these modules not available in the Python software. In Python software available, then I can import and I can use. And I'm not going to develop in. Some other people already developed these modules and they're maintaining in the internet location. So we need to download these things, guys. So if you want to get these third party modules, so we are going to use our pip command. Open the command prompt in your system using the pip command. So pip install followed by required module name, guys. Pip install required module name, whatever you want, you can use Django, Pillow, PyMySQL, like that. Clear, guys? So pip install Django. So pip command is doing what means pip is communicated with web location. Pip is communicated with web location, guys. Simply, okay. So searching for this module, guys. Pip is communicated in the web location, searching for this required module name and finding that module name. Searching for required module name, finding that required module name, and downloading that module and installing that module. Everything is done by whom? Pip command. Pip command. So pip install required module, you are writing command. So pip is communicated with the web location, searching for required module, finding that module, and later downloading and installing. Whenever it is downloading a third party module, these third party modules are coming and storing inside the Python software location only. Python software location only storing. So now you are going to get the Django. You're going to get the Django. Later, you're going to get the PyMySQL. Later, Pillow. Whatever the modules you want, you can install, guys. Whatever the modules you want, you can install. Clear this one? So using the pip command, right now I installed Django. So right now Django is there, guys, here. Later, whenever you require this Django, whenever you require this Django in your development, we can import that one and we can use. Clear this one? So the modules which are available in the Python software, these all things using the import keyword, we can get it easily. First of all, the third party modules not available in the software location. That's why using the pip command from the internet, we are downloading and we are storing here, guys. So we are not searching for particular module. We are not downloading. We are not installing manually by clicking next, guys. Just you are the responsible to install this module to this command. You are installing this command. So this pip only take care all the responsibilities. This Django module is available or not in the web location. If you available, finding, and after finding, downloading, and after downloading, installing. Like everything is done by pip only. Okay, guys. So here n number of modules there, guys. So along with Python, no database module there. So if you want to use Python with MySQL, then PyMySQL or MySQL client, the different module there. MongoDB, PyMongo, Oracle, CX Oracle, PostgreSQL, like all other major databases, guys. Whatever the DB you want to use for your program, your application, then every database is providing one module. So MySQL person, if not providing this module, guys, MySQL person, if you're not providing this module, then our Python applications are not possible to communicate with MySQL. Then obviously MySQL company is getting not getting the profits, losing business. That's why all other people, other software people like a databases related or some other people, they are developing their own modules to do interaction with Python. Like n number of modules there, guys, thousands of modules there, third party modules, while developing our user defined code depending on our requirement. N number of modules, we are going to downloading and we are going to use inside our programming, guys. Every module is having some methods or something we are going to use depending on our requirement. So clear all of you this modules concept? This is all pure Python related only. In Python modules concept is there. Their import keyword, from keyword, these all things more clearly you are going to get. Okay. So while developing our application regularly, our Django programs, guys, whenever we are going to developing, so regularly we are going to use the import keyword, from keyword. So this knowledge in Python only you are getting. So in Python, what you are learning, guys, functions, exception handling, these things are modules concept, variables, how creating, syntaxes, indentation following, and data types, list, set, dictionary. These all things in the Django we are going to use whenever we required. Okay. Yeah. Now some examples of third party modules are majorly our framework is also a one module, and later if you want to do communicating with MySQL, PyMySQL is one module. Okay, Pillow is one module, like a number of modules there, guys. So using the pip command we can install. So pip stands for what? Pip stands for Python installer, Python installer, Python installer package, guys. Python installer package. Some people also call as Python package installer, Python package installer. All your ways. And one point finally remember about the pip. Whenever you are going to working with the pip command, guys, then in your system internet must be required. Whenever you are going to installing one module, so internet must be required, guys, in your system. First time while developing, first time when you are going to developing one module using the internet, you are going to downloading. Later, whenever you are going to use inside your program using the input keyword, directly you can import and you can use it. But first time downloading purpose, internet is required. Later, user defined program, inside user defined program, if you want to use, no need of internet. Already downloaded. Just we are going to import wherever we require, we can use it. Clear this pip command? Important. So what is the use of pip command? How we are going to use that pip command in your program? Like that, sometimes people are asking. Okay. So now I'm going to open my command prompt, guys. So Django, I want to install what? Django. So pip install Django. I'm using pip install Django. So here D is silent, guys. So that's why we are calling Django. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting your messages, guys. No problem. Yeah. Okay. First, listen this one again. I'll tell. So using the pip, I'm going to install the Django module, guys. So what is doing this pip command? Pip command is going to be web location. Here internet location is there, guys. So pip is communicated with internet. So here all third-party modules there. Third-party modules there, guys. So what are the third-party module name you are using? Django. So out of these all third-party modules, so here Django different versions there, guys. Again, Django different versions there. Django 1 is there, Django 2 is there, Django 3 is there, like that. So pip command is communicated to web location, searching for required module. Here available all Django modules are. Finding the latest version, guys. Latest version, recent version finding. Okay, and that module we are going to be. I mean, this pip command is going to be downloading. So whenever downloading that module, latest module, that is available in the Python software location. So predefined modules there. Predefined modules here is there. Along with this predefined module, now this third-party module is also downloading and storing here. Later, whenever you require this module in your user-defined development, you can use using the import keyword. So the modules which are available inside the Python software, those modules by using the import keyword, we can import and we can use it. So while developing the application regularly, we are going to do that importing. I'll take care that time again one more time. So right now pip install Django I used, guys. So here my pip command is searching for Django module, finding the latest Django, guys. Latest version, finding the latest version and installing, downloading and installing. I don't want latest version. I want some existing version, guys. Some old version I want. In my development, I'm not going to use the latest version. I want to use some existing version. If you are deciding like that, then so you can use here Django double equal to version number, whatever you want, guys. Version number. Okay. So required version you are going to get. So remember, guys, this one. Pip install Django means only latest version finding and downloading. So Django double equal to version number means searching for this version, searching for Django with this version, finding that one, downloading that one, installing that one. So here no space is there, guys. Django double equal to version number without space. You need to write. Previously, some people I saw they are taking like this space and sir command is not working to me, like that asking. So no space is there here. As a single word, you need to write all the things. Then so pip command is searching for only this module and downloading that one and installing that one, guys. So in our development also, Django 2 versions we are using, 3 versions we are using, depending on requirement. Some days some versions we are using, some days some other versions we are using. So how we are increasing our version number, how we are decreasing our version number, these all things we will take it. When we are developing, you will get it. No problem. Here starting you are installing like this, guys. Later after 1 month you want to use a 3 version. Again one more time you can use the pip install Django 3.0, Django double equal to 3.0. Then that 3 version downloading and installing. Got it? So now after executing this command, guys, your Django module is also available in our Python software. Later onwards you can create the Django projects. Django projects. So one point remember here, after installing um, after installing Django module, then one new file downloaded and stored in the Python software location, guys. After installing the Django module, then one new file coming for the Django related, one new file stored in Python location, in Python software location, guys. Which name is Django-admin.py. This is the file name, guys. After installing the Django, you are getting this file inside our Python software location. Every .py file is a module, I told. So Django-admin is a one module. This is our Django framework related main module. Okay, na? So after installing, you can open your Python software location. There you can see Django-admin.py. So now this file is responsible. This file is responsible to creating the Django project, guys. To creating projects, creating Django project. So which one is responsible means this Django-admin file is responsible. Open your command prompt, guys. In your system, D drive, E drive, F drive, different drives may be there. Okay, so wherever you want, you can open one location, guys. You can open one location. For example, this is Django 7 AM batch. So create one folder with Django 7 AM batch, guys. Create one folder with Django 7 AM. See, like here a number of batches I created depending on batches timing, all things. Okay, same like in your system, one folder you can create a Django 7 AM batch. Okay, up to that your command prompt to open, guys. Later I will show you practically. First I'm telling all the commands only. So now my command prompt I opened wherever I want to create my project. Wherever I want to create my project, so I'm going to create. I'm going to be creating, guys. And now here, how creating Django project? How creating Django project means you are going to use this Django file, guys. Django-admin, Django-admin. Then start. Then start project. This is the command, guys. Django-admin start project followed by project name, whatever you want, guys. So demo project. This is my project, guys. So you are going to use this Django-admin file to start the project. And project name is user defined name. Whatever you want, you can use it. Got it? So this is fiction name, guys. Up to here fiction name. Only this is you are going to change it depending on your requirement. Okay. Now you are installed successfully. So in your command prompt location, guys, in your command prompt location, you are going to get this demo project. This demo project. So now here you are going to get like this way, which is acting like one folder, guys. Which is acting like one folder. Inside this folder, we are going to get one new file, manage.py, manage.py, which is managing all applications, creating, running the server, creating the tables like this. This project related everything is managing by this manage.py file. this manage.py file. So regularly we are going to use this file, guys. This is like a one file for executing the commands only. Okay, so now I'm getting this demo project is a folder, like a folder. Inside that manage.py I'm getting again same project folder you are getting with this name only, one folder you are getting. This is actual project. This is actual project. Okay, na? So what is your problem, sir? Guys, all people getting my voice? You guys something? Somebody is telling a voice low. All are getting my voice? Yes. Sir, maybe in your side only problem is there, Ramkrishna. And I I kept you mute from your side getting noise. That's why. Yeah. So yes, guys. In the course, Django course, we are going to discuss HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, all the things. What are required to developing our application. For example, okay, see here, like this, what we are going to developing. So here responsive applications we are going to developing, guys, like this. So whenever we are clicking particular content, that content related output how we are displaying on the screen. So these all things we are going to get. So here different menus. If I'm clicking register, login, that login page, register page, like that we are going to displaying. Coming days we are developing as a major target is backend code. Our major target is backend code. If I'm clicking this mission, I want to display something. That is our major target, backend code. While developing the backend code, this front end also together we will develop. Okay, na? Okay, guys. Now here, after creating the Django project, so one manage.py file you are getting, one demo project you are getting. Demo project you are getting. So this is demo project is a folder, guys. Inside this folder, 4 files you are going to get, guys. 4 files you are getting. Simply later after creating manually, I will show you guys. Just rough understanding purpose. Settings.py you are getting, urls.py you are getting, and WSGI web service gateway interface dot py you are getting, and double underscore init double underscore dot py you are getting, guys. Okay, na? So like this you are getting as one architecture. After executing this command, you are going to get one structure like this internally, tree structure, project tree structure. Okay, now I want to create application for this project, guys. I want to create one application. This is a project. So if you want to create the application, so right now your command prompt location, this one is there. Okay, so you need to change the directory into this folder, guys. Change the directory into this folder. Okay. Wise. Yeah. So now I want to create the Django application, guys. Application if I want to create, so open your command prompt, and now here change the directory into your folder location, Django project folder location. So demo project. This is I created. So which is creating like a folder. That's why I need to change into this directory, guys. So cd demo project. Then my command prompt location is coming like so cd demo project like this. Now here, guys, here I want to create my application. I want to create my application. So if you want to create your application, so command is like python manage.py is fixed, guys. So this manage.py I'm using here, python manage.py, and start app, wait, python manage.py start app followed by app name you are going to use, guys. Python manage.py start app, and followed by app name, okay. So wait guys, this person is keep sending messages. Yeah guys, now Python manage.py start app. This is fixed guys regularly. From day one onwards up to day end we are using regularly. So only this application name is changing. Demo app, demo project, demo app, authentication project, authentication app. Like we can create no problem. User defined names, whatever we want, we can create. Coming days n number of projects we are going to create like this. Okay. Now after creating this demo app, nothing but application name. Then so one folder is coming guys with this name inside this location. One folder is coming with a demo app, and inside that 6 files coming guys. So can see this is our project location. So now totally you are going to get like this. Now I want to get one application name, one application folder guys, demo app. So parallel to this one guys, parallel to these things you are getting manage.py demo project. So in this project these all 4 files there. Now here this is also one folder application name. This is one folder. Now in this folder again 6 files you are going to get. In this folder again you are going to get the 6 files. So here one folder you are getting, that is the migrations folder guys. One folder you are getting migrations folder, and also 6 files you are going to get. For example, models.py, model.py, views.py, views.py, admin.py, apps.py. Like don't get confusing guys. About these files I will tell later slowly. Okay, just to after creating project name and application name what are coming, that is when I'm giving information. Like totally 6 files you are getting guys. Totally 6 files you are getting. So one more init dot py you are getting, and then one more so test.py. Like some files you are going to get guys. Okay na? So final project structure, this one guys, this is my project folder. So in this folder you are going to get one manage.py python file, which is required for creating the application and creating the tables all together guys. So now here one folder you are getting which name is demo app, and this is also acting like one folder. So in this folder guys, in this folder 4 files you are going to get here. 4 files you are getting, and in this folder, in this application folder, so you are going to get one subfolder which name is migrations. Later here some files you are going to get. Some files you are getting guys. Each file having their own purpose. We will discuss later clearly. Okay na? So this is a project structure guys, a Django project structure with application. So this is my project name. This is my project name containing 4 files. This is my application name containing 6 files and one folder. So for my project, if I'm using MongoDB or MySQL or SQL Server or Oracle, whatever the database I'm using, the database related coding maintaining here guys. Coding, database related coding maintaining here, SQL code files are storing here. So later I will show you about these all things. So regularly we are going to use majorly guys, this settings file, this URLs file, and this models file, and this views file, admin file. These files regularly we are using major files guys. So remaining files all together interconnected, and depending on requirement we can use. Understanding all people this project creation structure, creating project and creating the application. Okay, now this is one project guys. So every project at least contain one application, one project with one application, at least containing one application, and at most n number of applications also you can create. For one project multiple applications also we can create guys. So this is now one application. Next, one more folder I can create here, one more application. Okay, this is for example, I'm taking like a app2. This is one more application. Again, in this application, same like these files. So 6 more files going to be created here. Like a number of applications we can create, guys, depending on our requirement. Depending on our requirement. Clear, guys? This one, all people project structure. So this is we will do programmatically, creating the folder inside the locations, and then we can developing the coding. Okay, so once this project creation, these things completing, so later architecture is there, Django architecture is there. So we will discuss that architecture. Once architecture also completing, then so database how communicating, presentation how communicating, business code how we are writing, where we are writing business code, where we are writing database code, these all things knowledge you are going to get it. And after creating the Django project name and application name, guys, after creating the Django project name and application name, okay. So if you want to run your server, guys, in the browser, whenever we are going to see like this outputs, okay. So we need to run this server, guys. We need to run this server. So if you want to run this server, then your command prompt location, this is our folder location. So in this location, again you are going to use one command, python manage.py, and I want to run this server. So run server command you are going to use. Whenever you are using this run server command, then our project is going to be running. So after running the server, all our project related URLs we can use from the browser. Okay, now Django by default running our server with 8000 port number, guys. Django by default running with 8000 port number. If you are not giving this port number, means no problem. So you can give up to here with 8000 automatically running. I don't want to give this 8000. I want to give some other number like this. If you want, you can give manually that number. Then your project is running with so and so port number. Every application is running with one port number, guys. Okay, while developing in our system, at a time 3 applications if you want to run, then 3 different port numbers you can use, then parallelly 3 you can develop. With the same port number not possible, 3 applications developing. Clear? So that is the process. Okay, guys. So today our main target is Django installation. So if you want to installing the Django, we need to learn first of all modules concept. So 3 types of modules there. Third party module knowledge is required here. Okay. So third party modules, if you want to installing, then pip command is required. So pip is required for installing the third party modules, which is available after installing the Python software, along with the Python software available. After installing software, you are getting, guys. So pip install required module name. This is the command syntax. Pip install required module name. So whatever the module you want, you can download and install. So now we are installing the Django. After installing Django, this file is coming in our Python software. So after getting this file, then I need to create the Django project. First, select one folder location. For example, here different folders we can create, guys. So many batches. How? So here, what is that? online Django 7 a.m. online Django 7 a.m. batch. Some timing also we can take it. For example, 8 3 like this. So without getting other batches names collisions, I'm taking like with a timing also, guys, in your batch. Otherwise, so many folders there here. So maybe collisions coming already here. Online Django batch 7 p.m. 7 a.m. like different batches there. So we are going to create like one folder, guys. So open that folder. So here you are going to open your command prompt like this. Okay, na? All people are following what I'm telling. So create one folder, guys, inside your system wherever you want. Create one folder inside your system wherever you want. So where I created, where is there this one online? Just now we created, na? Where is there, guys? Is it dragging into any other folder? Okay, then I'll create one more thing. Online, yeah, online new 7 a.m. Online new 7 a.m. Django batch. Online new 7 a.m. Django batch. This is my folder. Okay, so open this location, guys, here. So simply type here cmd, command prompt is coming up, command prompt location is coming. Now here you are going to create your Django project name and application name. In this folder you are going to get all the files. In this folder you are going to get. So what is the command to create the Django project name and application name? So this is the command. Okay, so pip install Django, do it yourself, guys. Already I done. So I have all things. Now I'm going to create this one. So if it is executing successfully, one folder you are going to get here. Can see. Now you are getting demo project. So in this folder, one demo project folder and the manage.py file you are getting. I told. Now in this folder again 4 files. Already I explained these all things. Okay. Now next what you are doing, we need to change it directly into this folder, guys. Right now we are in the 7 a.m. batch. I need to go inside the demo project. How we are going? cd and followed by demo project. Now I'm enter into the demo project. Here I'm going to create the application name. So how do you create the application name? Python manage.py followed by demo app. Okay, so manage.py start app followed by app name. So now after creating this one folder you are going to get, guys, here. Okay, now see demo app you are getting. So inside this one folder with the 6 files you are getting. So this structure right now I told to you. Right now I told to you. So later here, if you want to run this server, Python manage.py and run server command is there, guys. Run server by default 8000 is executing. By default 8000 is executing. So now Django is by default running with one default server with the port number 8000, starting development server with 8000, guys. So this link you need to copy, control C one time only. Again control C means breaking server shutdown. So open your browser wherever you want and paste here, guys. So Django install worked successfully. Congratulations, like this you are getting. Means your Django so far project name, application and creating all things are going successfully. So later we are going to add some logics, guys. For example, I told Django is coming by default with one admin site. So admin site related ready-made URL is there, guys. So I'm using the admin. Later I will tell, guys. So here admin related presentation is there by default. This is we are not developing, automatically developed by Django framework people only. So here some username password later we are going to create by using some commands. So after enter username password, I'm going inside the Django admin site. So in that admin site lot of presentation is there. Using that presentation we are interacted with our application related all the tables to performing CRUD operations. Means creating data, updating data, deleting data, changing the information of all the items, like everything we can do it. This is the one of the best advantage of Django developers to the Django developers if you are using the Django framework while developing your applications. Okay, so right now this admin related username, password, how creating these all things you don't know. Slowly we will discuss, guys, all together. Okay, so these commands today we are learning, and in the next session, so right now after creating this Django project name and application name, here so many files are coming. So these all files related architecture, how these all files together interconnected, how execution flow is going, where we are developing which code, database code where we are developing, presentation code where we are developing, and business code where we are developing. After running the server from the browser, we are sending the URL, guys. So when I'm sending here www.facebook.com, Facebook page coming. So how these all URLs connected? These things in the tomorrow section we are going to discuss. Don't miss, guys. Tomorrow you will get it all the knowledge in the tomorrow basic section. And here one point can say, open the command prompt. Open the command prompt. So here what version Python you are using, guys? If you want to see, then Python hyphen version you are going to use, guys. So you are going to get and Django what you are using. Django what you are using. If you want to know, Django hyphen admin. This is my file. Django hyphen admin hyphen version. So 2.0 I'm using, guys, initially. Later 3.0 we will use it 3 version. So some days this version, some days other versions, like that we can use it. Clear this one? So if you are getting like this, then successfully working, guys. So some people open command prompt, guys. You need to type Python. Whenever I'm clicking Python, I need to get this Python prompt location. This is the Python area, Python prompt. So if not coming, some people not getting, guys, like this. Whenever they are using this one, Python is not recognized. Is an internal or external command, like errors coming. Means in your system Python is there, but Python environment variables you are not adding. Python environment variables you are not adding. Okay, so we need to add that environment variables. So in the tomorrow session I will tell where Python software is there, how we are adding environment variables all together. So control J. So if coming like this, guys, after typing Python, if coming like this Python prompt, then pip command here only you can use pip install Django. This command you can use here only with the required version, whatever you want. For example, in my system, this is there now, so I can use like this. Working, your pip is working successfully, and this module is downloading inside the Django's our Python software location. If not working for you here like this, then pip is also not working like this. Then we need to give settings. Pip command environment variables we need to add. While installing the Python software, automatically adding by default, no problem. In the rare situation, if not working like this, then we need to add manually. How we are adding these all things in the next section we will discuss, guys. Clear, guys? Yeah. So thank you for this day. And if you have any queries, you can ask me, guys. And as soon as possible, do it, guys, all your registration. So now onwards, we are going to discuss programmatically all things. Tomorrow, architecture, all things. So if people are not doing registration, means I need to tell again and again the same demos. So myself, I'm not interested to tell like same demos. These all things what discussing in the last session, only theoretical points. Theoretical points. So in our session, guys, I'm going to give regularly what concept we are discussing right now today. These all commands we discussed. Okay, so these all commands related theoretical file I'm going to give, and what projects we are going to do in the session regularly, day to day, what completing, that is I'm sending to your mail, and also video sessions you are going to get. Okay, so end of the days one project also we are going to do with front and back end all together, and regularly concept related projects we are doing, and end of the day by combining all the concepts, one project we are going to do it. Okay, and after developing the URLs, guys, to testing our URLs working or not. For example, myself only backend developer, I'm not writing front end, but I developed URLs. Okay, so that URL is working or not, I want to test. That URL is working or not, I want to test, guys. So if you want to test, then some real time tools there, third party tools there. So what are tools available, how we are getting those tools into our local, how we are going to test our APIs, our URLs working or not using those tools, we will discuss. Means without front end developing, using the tools also we can test our URLs. Okay, so like this we are going to discussing, guys. Okay, thank you. Any of having doubts? Anyone having doubts? Queries? Come on, guys. If you have any queries, I will let you clarification. Otherwise, I'll stop, and again I have session at 9 o'clock. I need to complete breakfast and need to join again. So course duration, guys, 45 sessions, guys. Working sessions 45 required, and based on your students' practice. So if you are doing regularly day-to-day practice, what I'm telling, then exactly 45 days we can complete. Otherwise, 1 week can extend. That is all depending on students' performance. Okay, na? See, no need to join HTML or something asking. So guys, if you want to becoming like a full-fledged front-end developer, then separate UI courses going, guys. Separate UI courses going. So there HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, Ajax, jQuery, like all together they are teaching. And not only those things, again Angular JS, React JS, separate courses there. Separate amount is there to that courses. Okay. So you need to learn these all things. So here our main target is what? Python with Django framework. While developing the Django applications, whatever the required front-end code, that is I'm going to take care. HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, these all things. So rules and regulations, how we are adding to our backend. For example, CSS three types there: inline, internal, external CSS. So how those CSS we are adding to our existing Django file, like these all things I'm going to take care. In the HTML, generally links we are writing as majorly links, images, tables we are creating, order list, unordered list we are using, paragraphs we are using, and H1 to H6 header tags we are using. Regularly we are using these tags generally. So what we are using regularly, commonly, those tags I will take care. Fundamentals, all the things take care, and major tags. Any sites you can open, guys. So generally links we are displaying, images we are displaying, some colors we are applying, background colors, all the things. So like these all things, rules, regulations, I'm going to take care. Our main target is Django backend code. Clear this one? So along with this front end, I want to learn more front end. I want to becoming like a only front end developer, or else a fully full stack developer, like that you are deciding. So you need to spend more time. So in our class, what I'm going to teach about the front end, that is enough for our Django related. And also I'm going to share some files about the front end, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, Bootstrap related these things. So when you are reading those things, all the rules and regulations, everything you are going to get, no doubt at all. So then you can spend more time on the Google, like so many tutorials there with the front end related. You can spend more time, you will get it more knowledge. Okay, guys? Any other? Guys, Narendra. Okay. So guys, REST API separate batch is going, guys. Today, same Django and REST API same day I started. Only 2 demos completed about the REST API also at 10 a.m. guys. At 10 a.m. Okay. So only why REST API is required after learning Django, this demo only completing. So installation of REST API also not started. So how installing and how we are developing these all things. So now onwards we are going to discuss. So here my intention is you can parallelly learn, no problem, no doubt at all. I means for the learning the REST API related Django project, how creating application, how creating, how running the server, like some basic commands only required. And later onwards all REST API related separately we are learning concept, and parallelly you are learning here Django and REST API. That is all our ways. Otherwise after completing some programs Django, and then you can plan it REST API also. That is all your wish. Some people after learning all course Django, then they are taking a 2 weeks gap, and then they are starting the REST API. Means time wasting. Along with Django, you can complete REST API also, no problem. For example, Django 2 months course, or REST API 1 month course. Okay, so after completing 2-3 weeks of Django, then people planning, so both together at a time completing. That is all depending on student interest, guys. So I don't have much time, I have only less time. Immediately I need to complete all things. If you are deciding, then you can parallelly learn. Previously a lot of people joined parallelly same day REST API Django. That is all your capability, guys. Based on your capability you can think and you can attend. Okay, any of your friends, other friends wants to join, then at 10 a.m. batch is there. Okay, now any other? Okay, guys. So here, guys, Ram Krishna, today a lot of times I told keep mute your speaker. So if you are not muting, what is the problem means other people getting some confusing while I'm talking, disturbance is coming, and also in your surrounding different voice is coming. Okay, so different voices coming, so all people are listening your surrounding voice. These all things not correct way. Okay, so when you have query while I'm telling concept, if you are getting doubts, so there immediately you can put message. I'll see that message, I'll give you replay. Okay, and the end of the session regularly I will interact, then you can ask your doubts. That's the good way. Okay, guys. Yeah, guys. In the class only parallelly I'm developing regular, same like regular sessions. In the class only I'm going to developing one project, and same along with me you are going to do regularly day-to-day project. So the project is taking 10 days time, guys, to developing single project. Okay, okay, guys. So I'll meet tomorrow. Thank you. See you, guys.